welcome back to Netflix, the Subbuteo show. We're back for another week. This week we're going to be talking about the best Subbuteo accessory, and we're going to be putting this in our Subbuteo box set that we're putting together. We've already got a few things in it. This is probably going to be quite a controversial one, I would imagine. First of all, thanks for everyone who commented on the last episode. Loads of reference number quizzes in the comments, which is great to see.
We've also ticked over 400 subscribers. We're on 415, so that's really good.
Thank you.
A good result.
It's really
Thank
good.
you.
Thanks everyone there. Hopefully we can, I don't know, let's get to 450 within a couple of weeks, I reckon. We've really got to try pushing it. We can really build this channel, I think.
Tell your friends, tell your mum, tell your nan, tell your cousin that you ain't seen for years. Tell everyone.
Tell everyone.
Okay, should we get started then? Because there's probably a lot of accessories to get through. So are we saying that we're not having anything that actually involves playing Subbuteo? So no pictures, no goals, no figures?
Yeah, because we've covered them.
Yeah,
right.
We've been doing a separate show. I've said to people that have sent them in to me that I'm not sure they'll make it because we did a whole show on them things. So
I put out, when I said to them, when I put my thing out, I said no balls, no goals, and no pitches.
no pitches.
I thought that was fair.
Cool.
But boys, I've got, before we go any further, I've got you all a present.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yep,
have a look on your desk. Have a look on your desk.
How'd you get that in, mate?
Magic. The magic of TV.
Unbelievable. Are we doing this all
Boys,
at the same time?
Do it now. Go. Open them.
I'm very excited
Open them all.
about this.
If there's not a lightweight Italy in here, then it's going to be a lot of disappointment.
If this is your first time watching or listening, in our last episode, Calum said he would keep a lightweight figure.
There's a lightweight
and the lightweight
Italy
figure is in there.
Oh, they're tidy, mate, them, actually.
Look at them.
This is absolutely
Netflix
amazing.
balls.
That's serious.
You've got
That's
me.
serious.
You've got what? See? My
That
light's
is-
really bad. Someone show them on the camera because my light's gone really bad.
The Netflix one.
Look at that.
This is the best one. This is the best one here.
There is only 5 of these balls.
This is the second
no.
best one.
Four of these balls,
Amazing.
mate. 4 of each. They
That's
are
cool. That is the
extremely
nuts,
rare.
actually. That is the nuts, that. Do you know what?
That's her. Gone.
That's quality. And I need to go. I need to prepare my meal. Do you know what?
No, boys, I got
mate.
you these. Boys, I got you these just to kind of say thank you for coming on this venture because it's fun and I'm loving it.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you, spread some love.
That's
That is.
Thank you
proper
very
mustard,
much.
Actually.
You won't get any rarer than them.
These are my first ever non-Subbuteo decal balls as well. I don't know any others. So.
They
Me
are
too.
top spin balls. They are top spin balls, I'm
They're
told.
really light. They're really light, aren't they?
Yeah.
And this is how I knew, because Lawrence, you were saying about my Subbuteo's not doing the balls anymore because he can't get hold of them. That's how I knew because Dave Thornley did these.
Oh, did Dave do them?
I originally got in touch. I originally got in touch with Toffee Art to see if he wanted to do them, but he said talk to whatever I forgot his name. Stays at Staffy. At my Subbuteo. That's it. Talk to him at my Subbuteo. He said he's not doing the balls anymore, so speak to Dave Thornley, and then so Dave did them.
And Dave was saying to me that he's struggling to get a hold of the supplier in Italy. They don't want to send the UK, so Dave could be stopping them soon.
This Brexit thing is going to make a massive difference to Subbuteo stuff, isn't it?
Massive, yeah.
It really is.
Well, I mean, it already has. The new Subbuteo launched. They're not launching teams in the UK anymore. It's just through the Italian supply. We'll get onto this another day because it's a big rant. But the new actual teams are not on sale in the UK at the moment, and I assume that's
that's a show idea, actually, isn't it? Just us 4 pick something to rant about.
New Subbuteo
show. Your long show.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually mustard. I'm going to get a picture of these out on the Twitter tonight. Definitely, these are awesome.
Absolutely.
So anyway, so what are you going to mix up that lightweight figure with? What are you going to mix?
What I've done with him is I've cut his leg. I've taken his face off.
Are you seriously just going to knock him back?
Yeah. So I've taken his face
right
off.
now.
I've snapped him off of his peg, so I haven't got his feet. I don't want him to be too spiky, and I've snapped his arms off. There's probably lightweight fans out there crying right now. So I've got a couple of arms here. I'm not eating them. I'm just going to go. It's like eating a snail. You want to get rid of that bit.
Actually going to do it.
I don't know why I'm doing this. It might be a bit big, actually.
Just for the podcast listeners, Calum is now eating a lightweight Subbuteo figure.
Half a figure.
I've got to get rid of his legs. I'll cap them for later.
Put a bit of barbecue sauce on my legs, mate.
There we go. Right, he's got no legs now. But it is still lightweight figure.
I can't believe you're actually doing it. He's literally knocking it back like an aspirin.
Oh, that
Go on.
can't be good for you.
There goes a lightweight figure. I'm just going to put in.
I'm in a state of shock.
Yeah, this is
This was really funny last week, and now I'm actually thinking, is this a good idea?
Westwood Table Soccer makes a promise.
So, did it taste
I'm glad we did this at the start of the show, so that if there's a medical emergency, at least we'll see it.
You've all got my in case of emergency numbers. I put them down before we started.
Yeah, what 999?
Yeah, he's got a bit of a sun-dried tomato sort of aftertaste coming through.
Salami, that sort of pastrami, no meaty taste.
A little bit. More so on his legs. I've got a little leg in there at the moment. A leg on the go at the moment.
So this is what we think, is it?
By the time he's done, by the time the show's done, mate, I think the only thing that's going to be left is the peg and the base. I'm going to keep the base. The base is decent. I'm going to use that for something else.
Good base, isn't it? Lightweight base. Can't go wrong.
Well, it's practically a heavyweight base, isn't it? Just with a different shape on the inside.
Better.
Anyway.
Right, let's move on swiftly and let's pick our best Subbuteo accessory.
Everyone's tuned out now. That's all they came for. That's all they came for today.
Even I'm like, right, that's it. I don't.
Right, Stu, given that there weren't really any accessories in the Italian 90 box set, what are you going to go for? What's your best accessory?
I'm gonna lead in. I'm gonna lead in with what people have said, because everyone I put out to see what their best and worst accessory was, no one said what I said. Shock, horror. So let's tell you what everyone else said first. So on Facebook, Stuart
have another one of them.
Said,
another one of them, please, waiter.
This one's been aged on a vintage.
Fermented. Since we're doing the accessory show, you really should eat a Ken Bailey.
If I had that rattle get stuck on your throat though.
If I had a Ken Bailey to hand, I'd eat it.
Right, so Stuart Talent said, and I do realise, actually just reading this bit now, someone has said one of the things I've said. So he said best accessory is grandstand, police squad, and the match score recorder C115. We won't talk about what he said for the bad ones, but I've got quite a theme. We'll bring that up when we get to that bit. Gary Maffa said floodlights. Arnie Jones said red and yellow cards with a whistle set. I don't know if it means best or worst.
Arnie Jones, I asked him about this because he messaged me on mine. He's put that in for the worst, and we'll come on to that later on.
Take that back.
Put it in for the worst.
Cut this out. Mark Nielsen looks like he said about a bad one. Gareth Slinger has messaged me, so let's go and have a look and see what he said over in the messages. He has said he's just had a bit of a rant, really, about the worst accessory ever, and it's a good rant, in fairness. So I look forward to telling that later. But that reminds me, before I go on any further, as I go into the messages, I've got a message. Lee Murphy, viewer of the channel, messaged me a couple of weeks ago. He's going to donate an Astro pitch to our set.
That is incredible.
He is donating it. He said it's got a little bit of a mark on it, apparently, but that gives me something to do in trying to get it out. So Lee Murphy, absolute legend.
Thank you, Lee.
Friend for life.
Thank you,
Friend for
Cheers,
life.
mate.
So back to this though. On Instagram, I got told that it's tough between the floodlights and the scoreboard, but the corner thing was pointless. World Cup goals were the best for me. We said no goals. And then on Twitter, where I got my best response, we've got Stumpy Spurs said either the brown scoreboard or green fence. I like that. I can see where that's going. He was so along with that opinion, he sent it twice. Best and most obvious, the massive goal kickers. This is Subbuteo Legends. He said they were good just for the fact that he enjoyed having long shots with them. Project Subbuteo, love the TV tower. Hybrid Man, Set 101, love the floodlight. John Jensen said the best has got to be the classic green fence. A lot of love for the green fence. Lee the Flavour, who's going to get the award for best Twitter name this week. I like that. Lee the Flavour. Kind of sounds like a rapper from Leon C. I like that. I like to think it is a rapper from Leon C. It's probably not, but that's what it is now. He said the corner kickers that resembled striker pieces and the throw-in takers. I'm not sure if he was moaning or saying they were good. That was good. That was good. And then someone randomly just commented, "Who loves orange soda?" That was Olex. Olex KP just said, "Who loves orange soda?" He didn't. He said, "Who loves Subbuteo?" But that's what it reminded me of when I read it. I just thought Keenan and Kel.
I'm pretty sure Kel said that.
That's what he said. I read it says "Who loves Subbuteo," but I read it as "Who loves orange soda," and then it set me off. But anyway, my best Subbuteo accessory. What do you reckon? What do you reckon I said?
I reckon you said.
Because we all know what I'm like. What do you reckon I said?
The Queen.
The Queen?
The VIP set. Ooh, the VIP set. I reckon you've gone. What would you? Because you don't play, so I don't think you'll go with anything that you play with.
I think fences. I think you've got with fences.
I think you're going to go running track.
I can't stand the running track. Honestly, that running track in my loft at the moment is fuming. Fuming. Just give me the right ump. But anyway, that's something for my channel. Sticks 1216. Does anyone know what it is? There's your quiz.
I don't care, mate.
Absolutely shocking.
I don't know.
Grandstand. Red and blue grandstand.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
You're putting that one over the green and tan.
Yeah, well, if I'm honest, I want to do them both together. The grandstands. We'll call them the grandstands. They are the best Subbuteo accessory because it was all well and good when Subbuteo brought out, and we'll come to this for the worst, like the halftime scoreboards and the TV tower. Like that added to your game. But when they brought out the stadium, it added a whole new dimension to Subbuteo because suddenly it wasn't just about playing it. You was building it. You could build a stadium. It just opened up the world to so much more than just playing Subbuteo. And it's iconic. No one moans about it. Everyone loves it. It creates debate because you've got the better red and blue one. Yeah.
Well, clearly the C140 is the better one. So
No, it's not. No, it's not. There's one thing better about it. There's one thing better about it. One thing better about it. And that's the fact that it's got the little tunnel in it.
That's it.
That's the only thing that's better about it.
And the colour is far better.
No, see, I like the red, but you get freedom with these. I've got such a mess in it. I can't show you. But you get freedom with these because you can buy the grey terraces and you can put them inside it as well. I mean, you could do that with a green one, but it would look horrible. It looked disgusting with grey in it. But if you put grey in one of them, it looks like a proper old stadium.
Grey and green would look pretty cool, actually.
No.
Yeah. I agree. The green one looks really good, but as an Everton fan and an expert on obstructive views, a Subbuteo stadium with the green one has so many obstructive views because the sides, at least the red and blue one, tried to put this sort of clear plastic on each side so that you could actually see through it.
I'm not a fan. I think it's the brown. It just reminds me of like my nan's curtains when I was a kid. You know what I mean? It's that 70s look. It's just
because you don't like anything.
Well, that's your choice, mate. That's your choice. We can't persuade you.
I can't mug you off too much about it. Because
he wants to. He's trying to find a reason for it not to be the best.
To be fair, the stadium and the grandstand is probably the accessory that everybody wanted the most as a kid and didn't get.
Yeah, it was the most desirable. Pucker. It's brilliant.
One of the few accessories that has a box set named after it as well. So.
It does, yeah. See?
What I love Stephen when he comes out with stuff like this.
See? We should call Stephen Stato.
So Floodlights should get in as well then, because they've got a set named after them.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
You know what hasn't got a set named after it, don't you? Heavyweights.
That lightweight.
Well, Italian 90 set.
What I want to say about the grandstand, right, is, you know what I was saying earlier on to you boys before we started recording, that I had like 2 circles that overlapped, and I've got grandstands in the middle because to play with, they're rubbish. Especially if you've got your pitch on the table, to try and lean over, it's so difficult. I get the aesthetic, and that's why I can't put it as the worst. I would never say it's the worst because on an aesthetic level, they all look great. The grey ones, the blue ones, the red ones, the green ones. Everyone's got their own favourite. I get it. I totally get it, and I can't. That's why I can't knock you for it.
Me and Calum appear to have agreed, so that'll be everything for this week. We'll see you all soon.
Thank you very much for watching.
That was about to freeze over.
I would also say about the grandstand as well
that
if those stadiums didn't exist in Subbuteo, it wouldn't be as popular in this revival that we've got now as it was.
No way.
So I think
you're right.
The first Facebook group that really took off was the Subbuteo stadium community, and the number of people who go back to it later on in their lives, like many of us have, they do it because they want to build that stadium, which I think is the reason why you started, wasn't it, Stu?
That's what me come back. That's exactly what made me. I just wanted the stadium, and then it snowballed.
So I think it's one of the most important accessories.
Yeah, that's the thing. I want to argue with you about this. I wanted you to pick something else. I wanted you to pick something.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I've really thought about this today. I've really thought about it. And I've been
unlike that hat that you've got.
Hey, don't knock it. Look, proper that. I've had this hat for years. I can be like sort of late 80s rave.
On the pod. For those on the pod, Stewie has brought out another hat this week. That is a different one, I think, now. What, 4 weeks in a row now? 4 or 5 weeks in a row?
This hat's universal because it can either be like this, it can be like 80s rave, or you can flick it up and I can be 90s teen movie.
Oh, yeah, like Usher.
Or Bubble from Big Brother.
Or Bubble from Big Brother, see?
That's going back. That is going
TV,
back. Cool.
That's a blast from the past.
I like it, mate.
Right.
So that's why. But look, I went through the mill with best accessories because, and if I could be bothered, and it wasn't an accessory on its own, the France '98 corner takers and throw-in takers, they are brilliant. But Watts is frozen.
Is he actually frozen, or is he just doing something?
He's just got it. There he is.
He's back.
They were brilliant, but they weren't an accessory on their own, were they?
They never got released on
their,
did they?
Exactly. If they got released, I think they would have won it.
They were in a catalogue as being a separate thing. There's a few things I did a little bit of research myself today. I was looking about. There's a few accessories that you could technically put them in. I'd allow it because they had their own reference number, but they never actually brought them out.
Yeah.
So had you put them in, I couldn't. There was a few like that. I couldn't have knocked you for that either because they technically would count, but they never actually released them. They were a very, very late accessory that Subbuteo didn't bring out. But yeah, I like
that's why.
Yeah. Anyway,
they are, but the original ones. The France
Either
98 ones were brilliant.
I can get on with the original ones, but the France 98 ones are a million times easier to use. Yeah, way better to use.
I'm sure someone's going to talk about throwing figures when we talk about best and worst. So I'll save my thoughts for then. Cool. I'm not going to jump the gun. So yeah, from me, grandstands is the best. Can't top them. Best accessory, hands down. Apart from Netflix balls. Now they are even better.
Hey, they are even better. They're not
an accessory judged by our rules. So
I'm changing the rules.
They are the. Well, then what's he? Have you got something that's better than? Have you got something that's better than the Subbuteo grandstand?
I think everybody liked grandstands. You know, like you said, some everybody wanted but never had. So for me, things that I had or wanted as a kid would have been the fence, the scoreboard, and the one I picked for my favorite is definitely, and it's I think it's because it's more realistic and more, and it fits with Subbuteo. It has to be the subs bench.
Oh, love it!
Yeah, that's.
I didn't know what I wasn't expecting that either.
I like it. It's come out of nowhere. That
I just think. I mean, you just had it. It didn't do nothing. It just sat there. But when you had it on the side of the pitch and the fence up, it just made it feel like it was a Sunday league game, a proper Sunday league game. So for me,
you're right.
The figures are actual size. They fit with Subbuteo. I'll not discuss my worst topic yet because that's to do with sizing. But for me, that is the best. And it was always something you could afford. You know, when you were buying Subbuteo and going out to get it, and you were allowed to go and get something in town, it was something that you could afford to come home with. You couldn't come home with a stand. We never had stands as kids.
I agree with that. Yeah, I remember going to what was it called?
I never got
getting stuff like that. That's a good shout. That's a very good shout.
I don't know. You can just never a stand. I never got my first stand till 10 years ago, maybe. It was the first time I actually bought a stand, and for Subbuteo. So I don't know. A stand is definitely up there, like one of the best. But in terms of affordability and putting one into a pack, if we're sending it away to somebody, I think that's cheaper.
We're going to full one. I've got hundreds of them. I've got loads.
I'll send you 2.
That's definitely the accessory that reminds me most of playing as a kid. Like
the dugout. Yeah, the dugout.
Yeah. You can balance it on the side of a table on the pitch as well, so it doesn't take up any more space or anything like that. But it does, like you say, it just makes it look like a non-league ground or something like that. It's great.
Every stadium I've used them as well. On my 7-a-side pitch, I stuck them on in my loft build, which has got no official Subbuteo products. I've still got the Subbuteo dugouts. They go on everything.
They work. They do work, don't they?
They still look
The only issue
modern
I've got
now.
with them is I had them and I put them on the side of the pitch, but they do take up space on the touchline, which means your board has to be bigger, because if they're too close, they stop the ball going out of play, which is a little bit annoying, which is something I've experienced having used them. But yeah, they are one of them things, like what he said. I can remember as a kid when you get money going into a toy shop, like I wasn't buying lightweight teams then either, but like the accessories, like you would go in, you would go.
Even when he was like 5 years old, no, I'm not having lightweights, none of that.
Yeah, well, I just didn't buy them. I think because like the toy shop we had wasn't massive either. I probably would have bought them had they had like teams I wanted in it, but it wasn't a massive section, so you only got like, I don't know, England and all that lot. And I already had England, I already had Argentina. I had things bought for me, so it was about going in there and getting accessories. And I can remember getting like the corner flag sets and the dugout sets, because like what he says, they were affordable for literally everyone. They weren't that expensive. So yeah, I want to argue with Watsy, but I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they missed the trick not selling different colours of the subs. Because think of all the training tops that everyone wears now and all
Well,
that.
They did.
I painted mine different colours.
They did
I put in the little seats from Subbuteo, my Subbuteo builds.
Nice.
The little stadium seats.
That looks good. That looks really good.
So it looks like it's an actual modern seat.
That is cool.
That's
Talking
good.
about Subbuteo,
They did do blue fans.
We mentioned
they did do blue.
Yeah.
They did. We mentioned
might have done red as well. They might have done red.
The last show, mini soccer builds.
Yes.
Obviously, being a UK-based 3D printer of stuff, and like I'll tell you how good he is. Right, I literally DM'd him 2 weeks ago with, "I've got an idea for you. Do you reckon you can do this?" And literally yesterday, turned up 18 or 36. I got one set of each. 18 seats that will now fit in my Westwood Table Soccer Club display stands that put your figures on, and they look so good. Like I've got a little normal stadium seat version, so the arch back, and I've got the Recaro dugout style seat as well. And like literally, it just came from a DM. I said, "Could you reckon you can do this?" And within probably 2 hours, he'd sent me a picture of a prototype, and we just sort of tweaked it a little bit. And then, like I say, 2 weeks later, arrived yesterday, a brand new set. So he is doing bits. Like he's got a lot of stuff.
His prices seem reasonable as well. His prices seem really reasonable.
Really good. Yeah.
He's also done he's done the tower from the Everton badge and the old towers from Upton Park.
Yeah.
As well, they look fantastic.
What we'll do is we'll make sure we'll get his link down in the description, because I think if you guys are into your stadium building and getting those little quirky accessories like the seats, like what he's got in his dugout there, this guy can provide it in England as well, which obviously with Brexit and with getting stuff from Italy and stuff anyway has been hard before. Now it's even harder. Now got somebody in the UK.
I haven't told him yet. I've just told him I'm going to be in touch. But my challenge for him is to get. Oh, and I'm going to destroy it again. My challenge for him is, because what I want is a dugout, is a tunnel.
It's going to be.
No, all I want, right, is a tunnel that comes out from this dugout. So it comes out, but obviously it needs to be sort of jagged back to that sort of shape, doesn't it? On the back to click on. So that's my challenge for him. That's my challenge. So if he's watching,
we've spoken
I'll be DMing you.
We've spoken about him on the podcast before, but Jason Christopher, who's done the Cheltenham Town Stadium, actually has a tunnel that actually extends out. You can sort of, the ones that they pull out in like European style.
Excellent.
It looks really good, yeah.
Oh, that might work in my build, actually. I might have to talk to him, because that would work across my running track.
He does like shots and stuff as well, doesn't he? He's got little like burger stands and stuff that he's made out of card. Jason does. So there's a lot of people out there that are really creative with making those atmospheric sort of things that complete a build that Subbuteo didn't do. That when you look at something, you think, oh, what does it need? Like there's guys that are really clever at doing it. But yeah, so definitely we'll put mini soccer builds link down in the description, I think, because they say he just started up, and I say I was so impressed with how quick and how good they were when they came. So definitely.
we've pretty much got 2 winners so far. So Calum, how are you going to ruin this one?
I'm going to ruin this one. Do you know what?
Everyone pick on it.
I'm going to give you, to start with, I got so much response to this. I literally put a tweet out this morning. I got a lot of Facebook, actually. So thank you to the Facebook community for this. I got a bit off Twitter as well. So, and also, I'm gonna name drop here, because I don't know how this happened. But does the name Bryn Law mean anything to you lads?
Yes.
Who?
He's a big Subbuteo fan.
Bryn Law. Message that. He used to be a Sky Sports journo, so reporter on the ground.
Bryn Law, yeah.
Yeah, he messaged me with an answer.
Oh, nice.
Generally couldn't believe it. But yeah, so name dropping, we are now big time.
We are. Sky Sports
so
1.
Quite a lot. So Colourfield put forward tracksuited teams, and the reason he did it is because he reckons there's great painting opportunities, which is something I never thought about, but actually, what a brilliant idea. So
there's some great training tops out there. Some great training tops.
Superb from Colourfield. So Bryn Law said defence around, and it was something I hadn't even considered until he sent it. I was like, oh yeah, actually that's probably one of the best accessories because it saves so much time keeping the ball on the pitch.
What fence? Just on that, what fence is best? Does everyone think the green fence is the best fence? Because I actually, if I had to choose, but I never knew about the red one when I first started collecting, but that red fence, I love it. It's got that proper Sunday league, Saturday afternoon, senior league, Isthmian league look to it.
I'm going to put forward Set Y, the surround apparatus from 1953-54.
The old string set. See, I do know my reference numbers.
Yeah, he's done well there. But yeah, so I always had the greens, but the red is pretty cool. But I would still go green because that's
classic,
isn't it? It's what you have.
Classic.
What you have. The red is cool. The red is very cool. So yeah, he said fence around. Like I say, it was something I hadn't considered as an accessory really, because I just kind of always had it. I never considered it was going to be an accessory, but it was a great shout. How's that, Dave? Put forward the deck chair fans from the cricket set.
Oh, and I love them. I think they're brilliant.
I hadn't even considered, but they are perfect.
The reason I'm huffing, is when I was sorting out that cabinet a couple of weeks ago. Every time I shut the cabinet, this guy fell off. Still, honestly, the pain I went through for about 20 minutes. He just wouldn't stay on the deck chair.
I think they look amazing for a non-league stadium build, or and for cricket. But also, there's a new beach pitch coming out, which is perfect for those.
There is. It would be perfect.
But did they sell them as an individual accessory?
Again, I'm not sure.
Cricket set, didn't they?
I'm not even sure, but they just look perfect, don't they? They sum up Test cricket to an absolute T. Yeah. They're all asleep, the lads that are set on them as well. It's so good. Stephen Hydstrom's put forward the C189 training skills set. Dickie Ilstead said floodlights. Jason Christopher, brown scoreboard, so 115 or set Z. David Elton, the referee and linesman. Bullensberger, green fence around. Richard Greenfield, TV tower. Simon Goodman, I think, was trying to wind me up. He said live action goalkeepers.
What's the best?
I'm saving it because I'm not going to go there, but yeah, I'm saving it. But then he also said the Set S team holder carrying box. Paul Walton, stadium and fans, so like the grandstands and the fans that go in them.
Yes.
Andrew Martini, target board. Alan Rennie, fence around. Chrissy Brand, PV tower or the scoreboard. Stephen Gorman, grandstand. Daz Clark, his own fingers. He put forward. No, for the best actually said super glue because he breaks figures a lot. He said definitely the best.
Someone else said super glue. I saw super glue on one of mine actually.
Interestingly though,
and there was a reference number for it. There was a reference number for glue.
So we're going to save it. We're going to put that for little comments. If you know the name of the glue that Subbuteo endorsed way back when for an actual accessory and reference numbers, get it down there now. Finger flicking good. So our good friend Derek Eyre said the red fence around with the halftime scoreboard. I think that might have been a little dig at you, Stu, after saying it was rubbish.
Well, no, but that one is interchangeable. It's interchangeable though. You can at least put your own scores in.
Yeah.
But still, how many games right? And how many games of Subbuteo are you going to have going to make that worthwhile using? Are you going to play 10 games of football, 10 games of Subbuteo, stop at half time and then go around and put in the half time scores in case you forget them for later? Of course you bloody well not. And on the original one, you can't even change the scores. You can't even change the scores on the first one. It's pre-printed. Who knows what A, B, C, D is?
All right, Stu. I think
that's not even my worst. It's not actually my worst accessory either.
I'm going to save my response to that for another day.
It's not even my worst accessory.
Jeff Drake said C200. Anyone know what C200 is? Without cheating?
Oh, God.
I just need...
It's not them...
You're not going to get it. Do you know what? I'll tell you what it is. It's the sports bag.
Oh, nice. That's not put. That's good. That's diamond.
It's mental that these things have got their own reference numbers, by the way.
Well, there's lots. There's things that when I looked, I discarded some things because I was like, a badge. Now, that's pretty pointless. I was like, I can't have that.
Well, it's not. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, I'll have that as my point. It's accessory. I was like, yeah, but it's got a reference number, but it's not really an accessory, like a tie.
Yeah. The tie looks nice though, didn't it? The tie looks lovely. Trevor Arthur had the crush barrier, crowd barrier, or the blue scoreboard. Bolt tees. He had Football Express. Now, that's not technically an accessory; it's a set, so can't put that in. It is beautiful though. And Craig Tom hit me with the training set as well. I struggled with this. I had quite a lot of ideas. So I had like the brown scoreboard to put forward, flicking keepers. So the actual flicking keepers when they first brought them out, I thought they're very useful for playing.
What an invention.
Really
be a different game nowadays without them. It would be a different game.
Really good. Or the C203s and the actual kicking and throwing action, because I think aesthetically they look amazing. They're rubbish because they fall over all the time, but they look so good. Set Q or QQ or Q3, the goal holding device, is another thing that
I've got one of them.
Back in the day was like game changer for people.
I've got two.
Hold the goals down.
I've got two of these just turned up. I've got Set Q and QQ. I didn't know they made one for the smaller goals as well.
There's a QQQ as well. There's a Q3 as well. So
it took me ages to work out how that worked. Originally, this bit was straight. They're cool.
Yeah, like one of them things you think actually without them, there were so many before bases on goals and stuff. So they were good. The only training bit of kit I would have ever put in is a target board, because I think all the rest of it's rubbish. But the target board is functional because you can actually aim your figure. The rebound board, you've got to try and kick it against the board and then try and save it. That's rubbish. Passing team dribbling post.
That rebound board, I'm going to go as far as say that rebound board is probably at the moment one of the most realistic training accessories, because a lot of clubs use things like that for goalkeepers now.
Yeah, but you've got to do it on your own. It's quite.
You never know where it's going to go, so it's quite realistic. It's quite realistic.
The Set Y surround apparatus, again, just because it was the forerunner for all of the other fence surrounds, because before that, the ball just came off the pitch. The FA Cup, because it's timeless. What an accessory the FA Cup is, but I feel like we're going to do trophies potentially as a separate show.
I've got B for trophies.
But yeah, so the FA Cup.
Can I just say though, such a clever display on the trophy.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's really good. Really good. For those that can't see, Stephen's got an FA Cup out on the screen. I put in C142 stadium terracing because I prefer terracing over the grandstands because it's lower.
What colour?
Tan, personally, but grey would work. They're both pretty much the same.
Yeah, anyone? Right, just a quick question, because I'm quite ignorant when it comes to things like this. The grey terracing makes sense to me because it looks like concrete. Where does the brown terracing get its influence from to be brown?
Wood, I would imagine.
Cost, I imagine, more than anything else.
Yeah, wood, cost would be, but the wood from back in the day, maybe. So I put that in over grandstand just because it's lower, and I think when you play with it, it's easier to play around. I put in the France 98 throw takers because they're really good, and C133 interchangeable goalkeepers, which personally as a solo player are mustard. But my final nomination, and I'm going to give you two descriptions from the catalogue, and I'm going to tell you what it is. A useful gadget for the visual recording of fluctuating scores. No more arguments about those added goals. Now you want one, don't you? You don't know what it is yet, but you're thinking, hey, that's genius.
What scoreboard?
No, that was the match score recorder, I think you'll find. In 1969, it was updated to a scoreboard. A new, fully working accessory presented.
Calum, sorry, can I just interrupt? Stephen, you can't be happy about this. He's taken your job as the stat man here.
Yes, I'm quite impressed. It's great. It's rubbing off.
Putting some effort into this one. But yeah, presented in big stadium style with insert cards with the names of the English and Scottish clubs. It's Set Z, the brown scoreboard. And the reason it's the best is because it's so useful. Not only aesthetically does it work, when you're playing it works. Like it's got use for both aesthetic.
Do you not think that one? I like this one. This is Set Z.
Yeah, it's the original Set Z. And again, it's cool.
No, it's not. It's the second Z. That's the second one.
Well,
there was a red one.
There was a red one, wasn't there? Yeah.
This was useful.
The brown works because it works on aesthetic level. So for those that are just doing stadium builds and want something to go in the stadium, it works on that level. But also for solo play or league play, it's useful. it has a use. So that's why I'm putting it forward as the best. The lights, the 3 lights look so cool.
But them lights, I was just thinking, I've been waiting for you to say about the lights. They break off so much.
But it doesn't take away from it. That just makes it cooler when you've got all 3.
It doesn't make it as strong, as durable, as lasting.
But mate, it was made
as
in
a grandstand.
It's not your turn. Shut up,
but so were the green and tan grandstands, but they've lasted.
I wonder why they chose Sunday Express for that one.
That's another little thing I was going to say. The advertising is it just works. It's just like I put it in because like the brown is cool, it's retro. The paper on the numbers now it's older. It's got that sort of real fade.
Yeah, I'll give you that bit. I'll give you that bit. Actually, I'll give you that bit. Good. That off white.
So I am putting the ZZ brown scoreboard in because I just think for just creating, it's brilliant and useful because aesthetically it looks so good and the little name cards are good as well. And for people that actually play, without the brown scoreboard, there wouldn't have been a black one, there wouldn't have been a blue one. So it's like the coolest one of all of them. So that's what I'm saying.
I think this is the best scoreboard. I think that the newer black one is just a big chunk of plastic. It's too.
Oh, do you think? See, I think that's such a European feel to it. Like, I just think that's so.
The only thing better about the black one is it's got more teams in it.
Yeah, no, I do think it's better. That digital look.
They brought out international team tabs in red. Like, it sounds stupid, but
yes, I've got some. Yeah,
they're so cool.
Did they do that just for the? I thought they might. Did they do that just for a World Cup version or something like that? The red.
They were listed under a separate reference number as well, aren't they? The team tabs.
Team tabs.
They might be ZZ. But yeah, like
you might be right.
they're just cool. I just think, for everything as like a whole encompassing accessory, I just think they're brilliant. So
apparently that scoreboard comes with 2 different boxes, one with a waving buoy on and one with the Subbuteo hobby crest.
Yeah, so I've got the waving buoy one.
I think I've got the waving buoy one. Yeah,
that's the earlier one.
The cooler one, yeah, cooler one. But that's what I'm putting in because I just think it covers everyone. The guys that just want aesthetic. Because the thing with the grandstand is it's purely aesthetic. It has no use when you're playing, really. It's a pure aesthetic accessory. Same with the dugout, essentially. I love the dugout and I do like the grandstands, but you don't need a scoreboard either, but it works on a playing level. Whereas the other two don't work seamlessly on the playing level.
Doesn't have to work to be better.
I think that's a good argument.
Hey, thank you, Stephen. Over to you, host. What have you got?
I think these two are working together, mate. We've been tucked up here. They've been talking all day.
I praise both of yours. I think all 3 of those are good. I mean, not as good as the one I'm about to say. There you go. So I put a shout out on Twitter today. Got quite a few responses. A lot of love for the scoreboard, actually. There were a few people who said various scoreboards.
Sorry, hang on. Sorry to interrupt. There's your 2 different boxes that you was talking about.
Oh, there you go.
I've got to roll it like this because it's got a hole in the bottom.
Happy days. Good job.
Stu, you mentioned Project Subbuteo before, and he knows a little bit about accessories. If you've seen his setup in his loft, it's absolutely incredible. He says the TV tower, and I sort of like, this is one I really considered. I've got a little TV tower here. I just think it's just a brilliant accessory. It looks amazing. There's really good detail, and it fits together really nicely.
They are really, really cool.
It's lasted as well, isn't it? It's lasted forever.
Yeah. It looks like an old school TV tower. It looks like, as soon as that's next to the pitch, it looks like an old school ground. It's got that nostalgia. And it's another one that a lot of people had as one of the first accessories as well. So I think that's a good shout.
So I really like that one. And
it was affordable.
Yeah.
So cool. Like, but it's still the same. Like, the camera's the same. Even the guy, like, they updated the photographers, didn't they? When they updated it. They've never updated this guy with his microphone. He's still the same in 1990 as he was in like 96 and whatnot.
He's so miserable, isn't he, as well?
And wet. And the cameraman in his anorak. I like this one.
The little screen on the first floor could actually be a VAR unit if you really wanted to modernise it. So there you go. But we won't talk about Subbuteo VAR at the moment. Sean Molloy said the FA Cup, which we've talked about. I completely agree. That's a brilliant accessory, but that might be a different show. Doug Farden said that he used to play rules with his friends where every third touch you could use the corner kick takers on the pitch, so you could score some screamers in the top corner once you got used to it.
Bad shout.
Quite fun. Yeah.
Do you know what? I'd have a conversation with people. I'd have a lot of people. When you play, this is totally different. When you play solo, there's so many different versions of rules, and I have a lot of people ask me about it at different ways to play, and that's something I've never heard of that before, but I get it, and I would say, hey, if it works and both players agree to it, crack on.
You could use it as a defender, couldn't you? Last defender, chance to hoof the ball.
Just whack it. Rose
Z. Into set Z.
Into set Z, yeah.
Leon Mooney said that the scoreboard, again, you can print off your own colour team names, use some Word and spreadsheets.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people did. This is interesting. Jesterbrook on Twitter said, if I'm honest as a player and not someone who wants a stadium, I think they're all the worst accessory. I just want to play the game. So all I want is teams, goals and a pitch. Yeah,
that's Julian.
That's a view I didn't expect.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. It's kind of true, though. If you just want to play, you don't need any of them.
Yeah. Just loads of scoreboards. Oh, half-time scoreboard and which yours do, and fencing as well. Is on there. I think it was mine. I took so long on this because it's quite hard to choose a favourite accessory, because I actually love nearly every accessory Subbuteo made that can be used on a stadium build anyway. So mine is going to be something. My worst is going to be something completely different. But my best, I think, is the stuff around the stadium. Like, I absolutely love the little police set. And I think that police set as well was the sign of the times as well, because it was when there was loads of crowd trouble and hooliganism and all that, and Subbuteo released. I thought it was really good. The ball boys are brilliant. I think they're great. Bruce
Lee's.
Yeah.
Did you know as well, on the subject of ball boys, something else I learned today that I didn't know, they made different colours, but only in Italy. Yeah. So there's blue ones and red ones.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've seen blue ones. I've seen pictures of
blue ones and red ones. I thought they were just all, because over here we only got yellow, but apparently over there I've seen them on Peter Upton's website again. So guys, if you come in Subbuteo and you've got no idea about anything, just Google Peter Upton Subbuteo, and it is viable. It's so good, so good. And like I say, I still go on it now, and I say I didn't know there was other ball boys. I was scrolling through today to make sure I didn't miss an accessory. After a few people messaged me about accessories I hadn't even thought of. What, do you know what? I'm gonna have a look at it. And I came across them, and I was like, I had no idea. I've never seen one in blue. I've never seen one in red. I've painted my own in different colours, but I've never seen a proper one. I didn't even know they existed. But so they did them in different colours.
I did something really sad with Peter Upton's website the other day because I was bored and I was just sitting cruising. You ever use Wayback Machine where you can look at websites from years ago and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I put Peter Upton's into the Wayback Machine and looked at the website from like 10 years ago or whatever, and it's exactly the same. You can sort of see like, whether it takes a snapshot sort of every now and again, you can sort of read where he's getting up to. So you sort of see the progress as he's going through it. It's quite cool.
It's so good, and a lot of people help him out with sending pictures of things over if he hasn't got certain pictures on. So there's like we mentioned the sports bag earlier. There's a picture of one of those on there, and you think, I had no idea they existed. Absolutely no idea that was I've seen them obviously the wash sets and things. I don't know if they have a reference number, but I've seen things similar, but never considered they had their own actual reference number in a catalogue, which is madness.
I get all my stories from it. So if you've read Peter Upton's site, you don't need to visit the blog.
I mean, I wouldn't say that, Steve. I'd edit that out if I were you. His newsletter subscribership just about to go.
Yeah.
We'll
be right back. I'm just going to get a charger. Carry on without me. Just get a charger.
Right. Well, I'll one of the most talked about accessories that people either loved or hated, and I quite like them. I've got no feelings about them, but I've actually come up with a better use for them, and I do genuinely use this. The throw-in taker is now my wedding ring holder next to the side of my bed.
Okay. Which throw-in taker is that? Is that the old school one with the really long wide arms? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The little
does quite
spring.
well. Keeps it balanced quite well. It sits next to the bed.
These throwing. I'll talk about throwing takers. These throwing takers that you got there as a wedding ring holder are better than the 80s, 90s ones that were on a plastic spring with like the goalkeepers in them. They're too much. They genuinely can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Those metal ones, it takes practice. Don't get me wrong. You can get quite good with them and have a rough idea of where it's going to go. It's not perfect, but then what throw in football is perfect? You don't land it on your centre forward's head every time. But as someone who plays, like pinging one in, putting a throw in onto your centre forward and then volleying it in, it's so good. It's so good.
Let's be honest, in modern day football, every throw is a foul throw in modern day football.
Oh, that's another...
That's a nutting, doesn't it? Why are they allowed to get away with it?
I don't know. And then when they give one, the commentator's a surprise. The commentator, I can't believe it's a foul throw. It's like,
the only reason they give them, the only reason the referees let them go is because it must be a directive to just not give them.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. criminal, isn't it? It's something to throw in probably. But yeah.
Right. Anyway, my winning accessory.
Go on.
Is the is going to be, I think, quite. Just drop my wedding ring for 1 second. That's going to cost me.
He's also
giving it away.
He's got a floodlight.
Yeah. So it's this particular floodlight as well. I think all of them are quite good, but this is. I think.
Have you changed the bulbs on it? Have you changed that?
No.
Wow, that's different to mine.
Is it?
Like most things in Subbuteo do, they made a lot of different versions of the same thing.
I've never noticed. If you look at the lights,
Oh, yeah.
Slightly different light setup, yeah.
I've never noticed that before. Never knew that.
I can tell you both already. They're both crap at lighting your pitch.
They are.
Yes,
So
yes, they are.
that's obviously the big issue with them, that they don't actually light the pitch very well. But I've got a reason why I picked up floodlights. One, they were one of the earliest big accessories. So they were first released in the early 60s when Subbuteo was realising that it wasn't just a game that people flicked around. It was people liked the accessories and the making it, building around it as well, which I thought was such an important time for the company to realise that and do it. And I think when you're creating your first big accessory, doing it in the early 60s and thinking, I know we'll build a floodlight, is just so incredibly brave and stupid. To get a working floodlight in a box set in a toy in the 60s, probably on a budget and probably not together. So I thought that sums up just how ridiculous Subbuteo was at times, like in a really good way, and how brave. I mean, Subbuteo started by him taking a load of orders, going on holiday to America, and then having to come back to fulfill orders for a game that wasn't even created in the first place. And I think the creation of the floodlight is a similar sort of theme to that. So I love the idea of them. I love the thought that, this is going to be brilliant. You get these floodlights and they'll light up the pitch in the night game. The atmosphere will be incredible. And then when you actually turn them on, it's
you need about 100 of them. You need about 100 of them to make
but then I think the later floodlight, this one in particular, classic. The design of it is just absolutely incredible. It looks brilliant. It looks like a classic nostalgia.
Design.
And I think
you still see them at Grands now as well.
You set up a
still
pitch,
around.
Yeah.
I mean, Grimsby is one of the best ones I've seen. Grimsby floodlights are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But if you set up a pitch and you put it down and you put the fences around and the bench and the policemen and all the little bits that you probably got, it looks brilliant. But when you put the floodlights in each corner, it looks like a stadium, even without the grandstands, without anything else. It just adds like loads of drama to the occasion, whether they work or not, whether they light up or not. I think some of the stuff people have done since and actually, retrofitted them with modern LEDs and all that sort of thing just look absolutely amazing. But
good.
the original floodlights is just like
the tip kick floodlights are
They
good.
They are
very
amazing. Good. They are so good. At the weekend, I ripped all the old insulation out my loft, and to light what I was doing, I used them for floodlights.
And tip kicks.
They lit up my whole loft. Brilliant. They're fantastic.
So yeah, if you want to get a set of floodlights that do work,
so reasonable.
And they fold up. They've got a real cool they fold up as like a Z shape, so they can angle the lights as well. They're really, really cool. And as Stu said, they're quite cheap. If you do have a stadium and you fancy having some floodlights that actually work, the tip kicks are quality. You can put them on grandstand roofs as well, and they like.
That's what I've done. That's what I've done. But this is where Subbuteo are missing a trick, right? All they've got to do, you can buy lights like that without tip kick on. You can buy desk lights that look similar. All Subbuteo have got to do is get some of them, stick a little bit of Subbuteo on it, and suckers like me will buy them.
You can buy them from places like The Range, little LED battery-powered lights that fit inside this, so you can actually get them working again.
Subbuteo are missing a trick by not doing these silly little things. I'm telling you, Longshore, you're absolutely turnip.
I actually saw as well in terms of like stadium building, and I can't remember who it was because it was a couple of years ago now. Somebody had actually done a couple of painted fans with banners and things and sat them on the floodlight.
I've seen that.
On this one, it just looks absolutely brilliant. So I just think in terms of pure design, how important it was to Subbuteo. I'm coming up with my criteria again if you haven't realised. And again, these were one of the only two accessories with a box set named after them because they were that important to the brand. And I think if you show somebody that floodlight or a floodlight like that in real life, people will still call it a Subbuteo floodlight.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think I just love them.
The first set of floodlights I ever saw were the Greek pillar style.
Oh, they're awesome as well.
My old man had two of those, and I get that. And that's what I remember as a floodlight because.
Tell you what is amazing.
But he never used them. They just stand he had two of them, and the batteries in them are massive.
Them Greek, them pillar floodlights. The box for them is exquisite.
Is it? I've never seen
It
the
is.
box.
I can't. It's underneath the table, buried away. But it's long. But the polystyrene just comes. No, you pull something out of the box, and it's like, it's just got that. That's the Talon ones, isn't it? Honestly, the way it comes out of the box, it's so smooth, and you open it up, and they're just laying there. The polystyrene's perfect. Honestly, I'll try and dig them out for an episode.
Liverpool Everton on the box.
Oh, it is.
That is cool.
Very nice.
That's why he likes them. They're good as some park ones. Look.
Yeah,
mate.
Look. My biggest argument against them, Stephen, is one of the reasons why I picked the scoreboard. It doesn't. That you can't use them to play with. Honestly, that's so bad. They're so poor. They look amazing.
But you can mod them. You can mod them. Remember, you can mod them.
But that's not what we're saying.
Okay.
Can modify.
I'll let you have that. I'll let you have that one.
Can modify them, and if you want to go ahead and do it, they would be perfectly usable and look incredible because aesthetically, like you just had them ones on there, they're so good looking. The Greek pillar ones aesthetically are unbelievable. They look so cool, but they just as a out of the box.
What? See, where are you putting that box?
I don't know. Out of the way.
He's trying to get it away somewhere.
I'm watching him trying to slide it in. Hide that down now.
I pulled it out from under my desk and I can't get it back in.
But yeah, as an original untouched accessory, they don't do what they're supposed to do.
I think they do. Yeah, I agree. I think that's the big issue with them. But I think when you pull them up, they do turn on. They do emit some sort of light. Yes, you can't play in the dark with them, but they
function. But yeah,
they add to the stadium build. They're not an accessory that actively helps you play in the dark or anything like that. But
they do.
Yeah,
I love them. And boys, you know what? It's probably the first time that we've all put something forward, and I can honestly say I like them all. I do like them all.
What do we think?
It's going to be very hard.
We're going to have to, Stephen's going to reel us in a minute and get us all to vote somehow. What do we all think of the VAR unit? What's our all honest opinions on the Subbuteo VAR set?
Wait, I've got the... 1 second.
I haven't had one, okay, but I hate VAR anyway, as a general rule. So that's one of the reasons why I hate it. And it just looks nasty, doesn't it? They've not painted the boots. The skin tone is like the old Wago. Needs to have a little bit of time in it.
The actual unit is more solid.
The unit's really good.
The unit's solid. The picture on it is awful. It's a bad idea.
Take that off,
yeah. But here's my beef with it. Here's my beef with it, right? So they've released the VAR set, right? So you're, 10 years old. You get a Subbuteo set. Someone buys you a VAR unit. You set it up. Oh, brilliant. You put your VAR unit next to the pitch. But all of a sudden, you're missing a stand, a floodlights. It's all well and good releasing little accessories like that, but if you're going to release stuff like that, they need to release a full stadium.
They don't want to invest.
Otherwise, it's silly. It doesn't. You put that on your side of your pitch, it's going to look daft. You know what I mean? On its own, it needs to be surrounded by a stadium. That's my problem with it. They're not encompassing everything else that goes with it.
I think in theory, doing the set is in keeping with the tradition of Subbuteo, in that they release things that are happening in real football all the time. And I mentioned the police and stuff, but I agree, if there's no stadium to put it in, apart from the old stuff that you have to pay a fortune for. And, the referees that come with it. I like the base and I like the wavy pattern.
I like the wavy grass effect. That's cool.
But that paint job, they haven't painted the boots, so it looks like they're just wearing socks.
Yeah.
They're awful. Lazy, they're just bland.
Very lazy. And the new Subbuteo pitch, is it the same colour as them bases?
No, it's darker, I think.
So again, for me, if you're going to do something that's clearly designed to look like grass, that's what I'm saying. So make it, at least try and make it the same colour as your pitch.
Oh yeah, no, it's very different.
They're like a lime green, aren't they? Like a lime green bases. Yeah. I love lime green, as you can see behind me here. I love a lime green.
The pitch is green.
Yeah, look at that.
The pitch is Subbuteo green. Yeah, they missed the trick there.
But and then the other thing is, are they an improvement on the referee and linesman that came before? And the answer is no. The screen, like you say, the screen looks solid, but the picture on it that they've stuck on it's rubbish.
Yeah, why not get an actual scene of a game of Subbuteo?
How hard would that be? Do you know what I mean? Like, just get a photo of just some players on the pitch. You don't have to have any discernible different teams on it. It doesn't matter. Just
they could have done a set. They could have done a set of stickers that you chose from.
That's a great cracking idea.
Yeah, with all their new exclusive range of teams they've brought out. Like
they could have done. No, they could have done a Subbuteo collector sticker, and then a Netflix sticker, and then a What's His sticker, and a Westwood sticker,
I forgot,
and a Subbuteo sticker. They should do them.
I'm so excited about these. I keep getting asked as well to play a game because I did it on my other channel. Do you know what? If I might get the board back down, and I'll use the Subbuteo show ball when I do it.
Yes,
because they're so cool. I love them. Absolutely love them.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
They're mint. So thank you, actually. They are mint. So what Stephen, you're going to make
a vote.
How are we going to vote? Stephen, tell us how we're doing this.
Can we still not vote for ourselves?
No, well, that's just going to end in a draw, isn't it? It would just be the same conversation we've had.
Well, no, because I've convinced you.
If it draws, then
the scoreboard is the best.
If it draws, then the public vote will swing it.
Okay. Shotgun not picking first.
Right. Stu, go on. Stu, you went first.
Shotgun. Oh, God. So what have I got out of? I can choose... I've forgotten the score recorder. And it is the score recorder, isn't it? Score recorder,
the brown
Floodlight,
scoreboard.
And the dugout. Yeah. Oh, they're all excellent picks. I like what they've all done. I think they've all got work they can do to go further. I don't know. If I was to go down the pub, with any of them,
scoreboard.
I think it'd be a great conversation.
Be the scoreboard.
I think the scoreboard is full of information.
Probably be
but
the scoreboard.
At the same time, the Floodlights have got some bright ideas.
Jesus Christ.
I'm here all week.
He's going to pick delay. He's going to pick
delay.
You'll have somewhere to sit in the pub if you take the sub bench. So
do you know what? I've got it. And I'll tell you why. I've got this because I think if I was to show someone all three of these accessories and say what one says Subbuteo more to you, and it's I know what you're all going to say to this. If I sat down and 10 people said what one says Subbuteo, I think they would all say the dugout. And it's not because it says Subbuteo on top of it. I knew you'd say that. No, but it's not because
ridiculous.
But if I showed anyone what one says Subbuteo more, I think people would say the dugout. It lasted longer than all of the accessories. It stood the test of time. I'm saying dugout.
A load of rubbish.
And it's now being 3D printed in all sorts of different shapes and sizes as well, which is
irrelevant. Also, there's not many accessories that come out during the heavyweight era and lasted all the way up to the lightweight era. The dugout did.
Good shape.
There you go, Calum. And look, Calum's got nothing to say to that.
I was just editing the thumbnail again, boys, to change it.
Go on then, what's your choice?
It is really hard. I do like a scoreboard. I do like a flight. I love a stand. The only problem with the stand for me is affordability when it was out. But for desire and for the want to have anything that you couldn't afford, I would have to pick the stadium. So I'm going to pick. It's hard, but it's hard. I'm going to pick the stand. I'm going to pick the stand because it's something.
I know. I feel like
I did not think you was going to say stand.
It's only because it was something that you always wanted, but you couldn't afford. Everybody had this. Everybody had the bench. Everybody had a floodlight. Everybody had a scoreboard. I have 3 scoreboards. So
yeah, because they're the
they
best.
were a bit more accessible.
Why'd you keep buying them then? Because they're the best.
I don't think I keep getting them. I keep getting them and stuff, but you can never get a free. You never get a free stand. You always have to pay through the nose for the stand.
I've got loads of scoreboards, and I think it's because no one else wants them.
No, they don't.
Whatever, mate. Whatever. Do you know why that is? It's because they sold so well when they came out because they were so good
and cheap. I'm going to stand.
I'm absolutely gutted about
it. I can see exactly where this is going. This is going straight to
This is going to be a dead heat.
Stephen,
it's going to be a dead heat.
Stephen, I think this has got to go public.
No, you've still got to vote. You can't bottle it now.
I can vote, but if I vote for Stephen and he votes for me...
We don't know what Stephen's going to vote for, though, do we?
That's technical voting.
Like you did the other day when you got the Italian 90 goals in, but
at least we weren't obvious about it, like you're trying to be now.
No, he was. He went, I know we can do it. I picked the same thing as you. It was 100% obvious.
The only thing missing from this is CCTV of you driving down whatever motorway it is with a brown envelope full of notes to give him.
See, my only problem with this is I already want to pick one of the other two.
What?
You're last, Stephen. You're last. Oh, we've got a winner.
Let's go,
Look how angry he is.
Let's go, Cal.
He's fuming.
Because I know that I'm right about it. Because I'm so angry about it. Do you know another reason why I'm so angry about this is because I've got a whole presentation in front of me where I generally thought about it so hard. Like,
please show us your laptop. Please show us your laptop.
Can you use?
You've got to see this PowerPoint presentation.
I think we need to share this after the show as well with everyone.
Oh, whoa! Everyone's shifted.
It's because my camera's moved right there. So
Lawrence's, not Lawrence's. There's Calum's washing.
Oh, that's a lot of slides.
Yeah, so I've got some
honest,
stuff.
mate, I'm a bit disappointed in that. I expected more colour and transitions.
Well, I didn't have any internet connection at work, so I had to do it like this. But so I put so much time into this, and I thought about not just something that was aesthetic. I'm so angry with you lot, and I'm even more because
This is what people tune in for, isn't it?
You know what? I'm abstaining, not voting.
I'll leave it out.
No.
Oh,
you guys are absolute.
Oh, I can't believe this. He hasn't voted.
He's huffing.
All right, I'll throw one in there. He's not going to win, and I know it's not going to win. I would say Floodlight 'cause it's cool. That's it. I don't want to talk about it.
He's gone tactical. Look.
So,
it's the same as.
So I could stop this, so couldn't I, by choosing yours and setting it to a public vote?
You don't want to do that, Stephen.
No,
No,
I'm
no,
gonna. No. Absolutely
No, he doesn't.
I'm
Callum,
actually.
he's so angry.
Stephen, come on, man. Just send it to the
I've
public
actually-
vote. Be a man
I've
of the
actually been
people.
swayed. I've actually been swayed by an argument on the show because I didn't consider this before. But I'm going to go with the suspension because I think that is the right option, because it's just the fact that everyone has one. When Watsy held it up to the screen, I was like, yeah, that was exactly what, like, my childhood there. So
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with that.
Nice.
This show is
Well done, Watsy.
Timeless accessory.
Calum, think about it, though, mate. At least it ain't going to cost us too much money towards the charity
I'm also
set.
not happy about it because he put the least amount of effort into this. He already admitted at the start of the show he's done absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
He's been working out no effort, and you boys have pandered to him. I've eaten a lightweight on the show, and you've just pandered to him for a crappy bit of clear.
Actually, I do feel bad about that you eating a lightweight. That was.
I'm so angry about this. Yeah.
So the only reason I didn't do the scoreboard was because I've just got so many of them. They just annoy me, the amount I've got. It's so annoying.
No one's forcing you. No one's forcing you to buy them.
Just turn up in job lots. You get a job lot, they're there.
Well, stop buying job lots then, mate.
I've got 3 boxed ones, an unboxed one, another one up there.
Yeah, but this is the thing, because so many people bought them because they were that good. They were useful. They looked great.
They were. I tell you what, though.
You know what?
Just
do the
outro.
Just do the outro, Stephen. I don't know. Just run the outro. Put the music on. Put the music on.
Just because something is essential doesn't make it good.
It is good though, and I know the people are going to agree with me on this.
It is good. It's just, I think if you're picking the best ever Subbuteo accessory, the suspension is.
I'm not endorsing this. I'm not endorsing this episode. Do you know what? Cut me out. Put a black thing over the screen. I'm not endorsing this as being the best.
Like a budgie.
Because we don't pick the best. I'm sorry, we don't. We pick rubbish. Because you boys, I swear, are out to get me, stitching me up. I can't believe this is happening. I swear you boys are having like secret phone calls.
I'll tell you what. I can't wait until we do the worst. We're doing it now, or are we going to do that next week? What we doing with the worst?
I can't wait to see the comments onto this.
I would save it because Watsy wants to go. So let's save it. I think save it.
Are we saying, very quick though? Are we saying the most pointless or the worst?
Worst.
The worst.
You justify it. You justify it
That
however you want. Like you've justified freaking dugout. You melt. Honestly, the dugout.
Got corner kickers walking across the screen.
Of all the things you could have picked, fence around. At least it's useful. At least it has a use. It has a.
To be fair, I probably would have voted for the fence round.
Well, you didn't nominate.
No one said it.
You nominated a Floodlight. It doesn't work.
I'll tell you what.
And the Subbuteo, the bench is the cheapest to put in the set.
That's what I said. See,
that's not what this is about, boys. That's not what this is about. This is about creating the best set.
I tell you what, why don't we? Even though
every set had a dugout. All the best sets had a dugout in them.
Even though the dugouts are clearly the best, why don't we also put a scoreboard in there?
No. That's a hollow victory. No, that's a hollow victory. You've said it now. You voted for it. You've lost your opportunity. Run the music. Just cut. Run the music.
I'll tell you what we do, because in this set we are going to need a fence of some sort. So we're going to have to find a way to talk about fences to get a fence in this set. Right.
I will talk about this. I was going to mention this earlier. The reason I didn't put fence around in was I just thought it was a given. We were going to put one in because you need one. So that's why I didn't put it in.
Why don't we do an episode on which advertising hoardings we want on the fences?
Yes.
Hours. We're going to put hours on there, surely. We put our board.
Yeah, but there's going to be space for other people.
No. I'll tell you what. We'll do. No. I just had a really good idea. If you want to buy an advertising space, I reckon we can come up with like a player where you can buy and we'll create, or you guys can create hoarding and we'll get one printed.
Yeah.
And stick them on. So because obviously it's for charity. The money will go to charity.
We need to decide a charity first.
We do. We'll organise it. I think that might be a really good idea.
We won't argue during that episode, though.
Yeah.
My charity's better than your charity.
Well, or we could nominate a couple. It all depends, isn't it? Because we might all have individual causes that we can donate to, or we might all come together and come up with one.
If somebody knows of a really good one that potentially is linked to the show in some way, or
if you've got any chat or football or something like that, that's a really good idea. But yeah, I reckon we can probably come up with an idea where we could potentially sell advertising space to generate more money for the set. Obviously, we'll all
that's the best idea you've had. That's the best suggestion you've had.
Leave it, mate. Leave it, mate. Get yourself back indoors, mate. Get yourself back indoors. Honestly, I'm so angry.
I've enjoyed this week. I love it.
I'm not happy about it.
Nothing better than winding him up.
Absolute joke.
It's been my favourite week, I think, by far.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you both enjoyed it. I'm going to smash these up now. I don't even want to be part of it. I don't even want to be part of it anymore.
Do you want to eat one? Do you want to eat one of these?
Yeah, I will. Send it to me. I'll eat it. No, I won't. I'm not eating one of them. Cut me up from the inside out. That will.
You seem pretty cut up already.
I'm fuming.
Never seen it. I've never seen him as bad. I've never seen him as bad.
Because usually I can understand why you picked the crap that you picked, but a dugout. It's got no practical, functional use.
This is where your manager and your sub sit.
No, Stephen, don't.
I think that's honestly. I think that's my.
You can't use them. They're stuck. You can't use them, mate.
I think that's my third victory. 3 victories.
Mm-hmm.
At least 3 victories. I think.
Honestly, this whole show has turned into a laughing stock.
Calum, how many weeks have you won? How many weeks have you won?
I think turned into is quite optimistic.
Well, he started off as the front runner for Subbuteo on YouTube, and then after last week's reference number debacle, you totally fallen to pieces. And then this week, we're going to honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, boys, if we've got 200 subscribers next week. Do you know what I mean? Like the hardcore.
Can we use this? I'm using this as a tagline to publicise this episode.
Can we change it? I still feel like you should have sent it into public vote, Stephen. Why have you picked the dugout, mate? I suppose you think that's funny, yeah?
On that note,
absolutely disgusting.
So,
for viewers of the podcast, for people,
is he still moaning? He's still moaning.
Still going. I'm just going to talk over him and say, right, the winner of the episode was the Subbuteo bench.
Some hand signals. It's absolutely
thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next time with the worst Subbuteo accessory.
Well, I might not be.
At least 3 of us will be back next time with the worst Subbuteo accessory.
Might jack it in.
3 will be good. 3 will be good. 2 in the top and 1 in the middle. Down the bottom. That'll be good. Perfect.
Yeah, right. You design yourselves a new logo, boys. All right. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Oh, here I have somebody you can put in the bottom corner. Minty's legend can sit in the bottom corner.
It's not Joe's best. Not Joe's best.
Georgie best.
Are you done? Are we finished now?
See you next week. 2 weeks, lads.
Yeah, see you later.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you all soon.
With another fantastic win.
See you all soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Calum.
Bye.